A couple months ago, I bought this dress used on Depop. I really liked the color. It was this really pretty tan color, but then I got it in and it was green. And not just any green, it was a swamp green. So I decided to dye it, and I want to show you the process. The type of dye you use depends on the fabric you have. So right here I have viscose, also known as rayon. That's a natural fabric, and I want to use a dye for natural fibers. I'll be using the stovetop method. You also need non-iodized salt, some kitchen gloves so you don't get stained on your hands, and a 21 quart stainless steel pot, which is about 5 gallons. Now fill up your pot with water. You want enough so that the fabric has plenty of room to move around. Turn your heat on high and go ahead and put the fabric in so that it's fully wet. This is gonna help the fabric soak up the dye bath better. Take the fabric out, give it a squeeze, and set it to the side. Now add the entire dye packet, even with that little film on the outside, and you're gonna stir until it's fully dissolved. Add the damp fabric back into the pot and stir it into the dye bath. Measure out a cup of salt. The salt is important, so don't skip that because it is part of the chemistry. Dissolve the salt into a separate container with warm water. I did my best. For some reason, it was not dissolving, but it got wet. Add your salt solution to the mix and give it a good stir. The recommended dye time is 30 minutes. By the time you start the 30 minutes, the water temperature should be just below simmering. The 30 minutes is their recommendation to get the deepest color. However, you can leave it in less than 30 minutes. I left mine in for about 5 to 10 minutes because it just looked like it was getting so dark. Once the fabric is finished dyeing, you can move the pot to a place where you can rinse the fabric. I chose the bathtub because it is really messy. It's gonna splatter the dye everywhere, and it was a lot easier to rinse it out. It did take a while, but it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to rinse it completely out, but you want the water to be rinsing out a lot clearer than it initially does. To get the rest of the dye out, put it in the washing machine with a mild detergent. Dry your fabric, and now you can see the final results. Something interesting to note here is you can see the thread is still the original color, that green color, and that is because it is not a natural fiber, it is a synthetic fiber, and so it did not take the dye, which is made for only natural fibers. I don't mind though because it's on the inside, so you can't even see it. Here's a comparison of the dress and the color it was before. This technique specifically is called overdying because you're not dyeing over a blank slate or a white fabric, you're dyeing over another color. And you have to think about what color is going to result from those two colors that you combine. An issue that became apparent only after I dried the fabric was that there were spots and streaks of uneven dyeing. You can see on the skirt there's patches of dark orange. I'm pretty sure this is a result of the fabric not having quite enough room in the dye bath to move, so I would have had to put even more water in there than I already did. This is some fabric that I dyed with the same dye bath right after I dyed the dress, and you can see the coloration is way more even. It's a much smaller volume of fabric. As you can see, it did make a big difference. If you're going to be mixing dyes or overdying a garment, I would definitely suggest using a free color mixer app. This one is called gradients.app. This was my plan. I was going to overdye the green with the red and then overdye whatever color that was with pink to create this beautiful brownish blushy color. The only problem was I did this color mixing weeks and weeks before I actually dyed the fabric. I forgot to add the pink. Before I put it in the washing machine, I thought it was going to be burgundy like you see here. And then when I washed it, it actually turned out to be orange, which according to the color mixer was very much how it was supposed to end up. So I guess it's comforting to know that colors are going to do what the colors are going to do despite my dreams. Now I'm even more confident that if I actually add that pink that I forgot to add, so say I get tired of the orange, I'll add the pink and then it should come to the color that I'd originally wanted it to be. There can be quite a bit of trial and error when dyeing fabric. If you're just learning how to dye fabric, don't dye your wedding dress, dye something else that you don't care as much about. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned a lot. The supplies are all going to be listed down in the description. Talk to you later. Bye.